So this message actually is coming because I was just talking to one of my friends that I was in the Army with, and she was talking about how she can't seem to find anybody, like, while she's trying to, like, find someone to do stuff with. And this is exactly what I just told her, right? So when you're in the season of self-development, when you are in the season of working on yourself and getting more in the space and working on the relationship with God, why is God going to put anybody in your life that's going to detract from that? Let me say that again. Why is God going to introduce you to people and allow people to come into your energy that he knows are basically going to take your focus from where it belongs? And there's a very, very, very important thing to take away from the time, the solitude, if you will, right? If you're somebody who you can't go out alone and you can't do things alone, there's a problem with that. 111, as I'm just saying that. You should be able to go take yourself out on a date, right? Like, you don't have to have somebody right there with you, or you don't have to, get on the phone with somebody just because you're about to, go out in public or whatever it is that you're about to do. You should be in the space of loving yourself enough to be like, you know what? I'm going to take myself out on a date. I'm going to go to the movies, right? And I was telling her, a lot of times for me, what will happen is I will talk to people, right? Like, I've been pushing myself out of the box, right? And so I'll talk to people, I'll get numbers, I'll get social media, but what ends up coming from it? Almost nothing, ever. I'll talk to people and be like, oh, you want to go to the movies? Bam, they just ghost me, or they just like never respond or anything like that. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, all right, well, all those days that I'm trying like hard as hell to find somebody to go to the movies with me or something like that, all of those days I end up going alone and having so much more fun. 222. I'm just sitting there and I'll just be like thinking about it like midway through the movie or whatever it is that I'm doing. I'll be like, God, like I see why I wasn't able to find somebody to come with me right now, because if I had, then I would have missed the whole point. The whole point is to develop me with my relationship with myself and my relationship with you. And I'll just be sitting there like laughing. And I know sometimes I have to be like at the movies or something, and people have to be sitting there like, what the fuck is this dude like cheesing about? Or I'm just walking around, I'm not talking to anybody, and then all of a sudden I just like start smiling or like bust out laughing. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, damn, like I never feel like I'm really alone, because I feel like when I'm looking at myself in these situations, I'm looking at myself as having another one of me right there, right? It's almost like I'm looking at that mirror, like I'm looking at the reflection, like, oh, I'm not out here watching a movie alone. I'm watching it with another person, but the person is myself. But then on the flip side, I'll also be like, well, I have God with me always. And so I'll just picture that sometimes, 333, as I'm walking around, like, no, like people might not see, but I have God walking like right beside me. So, or people might not see it, but while I'm sitting here in this restaurant eating alone, like, I have God right here with me. And like, I'm really on a date, right? And so, like I said, if you're in a season of solitude, why is God going to allow things in your life, that is going to detract from the purpose of why you are 404, why you are where you are? And he is going to make sure that he eliminates any and all distractions or possible distractions, so that you can really focus on what you're supposed to be focusing on. And a good example of that is more recently, like my laptop. So I had already said this, like my laptop keyboard was fucked and like I couldn't really type anything on there. Well, my fucking laptop decided to update by itself, and because I can't type anything, I can't put in the password. So now I can't watch anything. 444. Now I cannot watch anything in my room. So now it forces me to get in more of that creative space, because when I come home, I do go downstairs and I watch TV sometimes, but it's not like I go home, I immediately go to my room, sit down, put on something, and, pass out. No. Like, now I come home, I edit my video, I put it out, I put the TV on, I engage with my content, which I do try to do that, but then also I'm working on like music more. I'm trying to think of ways that I can be more creative, and then I'm trying to think of ways that I can basically better myself. And so don't look at, the rejection or the lack of people entering your life as a curse. Instead, look at it as a blessing. There are a lot of people in the world that would absolutely kill to have some time to themselves. There are some people out there that are constantly surrounded by people, and what they would give to be in the space where nobody talks to them, or nobody's trying to like pull them in a million directions, that they could actually sit back and have some time to work on their relationship with themselves or their relationship with God. But because they're being pulled in so many different directions, they don't really have the time to put that energy where it needs to be, because they have so much on their plate. And so the next thing is that usually during those times, that's when you're in that chamber. That's when you're in the cocoon. That's when, like I said, you are being worked on and you are getting ready to elevate, because you can't go where God needs you to go if you don't have a good relationship with Him. I just got a notification. And when you don't have a good relationship with yourself. And so if you are finding that you are in that period, just know, like, you're about to be elevated, but you have to surrender to the process. You have to make sure that you are working on the things that God wants you to work on. You have to make sure that you are showing yourself love, that you are, maintaining those firm boundaries, that you are allotting time to yourself and to God. And, just work on that relationship. Just don't look at it as, oh, I can't find anybody to spend some time with. Don't look at it as, oh, nobody wants to talk to me. Like, this person gave me their number, but they're not hitting me up. Like, don't look at it as, people are avoiding you. Look at it as God is protecting you, and He is trying to nurture you, to nurture the connection with yourself, your higher self, with God. And, everything will just keep going. Everything will just keep going up. Like, you can't lose. 808. You can't lose from there. You really can't. So, much love to everybody as always, and I hope y'all have a blessed day.